Hello, my name is Nanayao Ifa. Good evening, by the way. I'll be discussing some case application that has to do with Mark and Curtis. All right, next page. What circles are relevant here? In what ways are these circles relevant to their clinical presentation? I believe that all the circles are important to Mark and Curtis' presentation. The circles in the clinical presentation are relevant here, and the concept in each circle are broken down. And one of the circles is sensuality, which has to do with body image. For body image, Curtis indicated that when he and Mark would engage in threesome sexual intercourse, he would be attracted to, uh, the third party who is involved, who is engaged in, who is involved with the three-way sex. He would, and in this case, it shows how attraction can play in other people's body. Because during the intercourse, he was found attractive because of the body of of a person. So a body image plays important part of the sensuality. For intimacy, I'll say trust. In their relationship, trust is something that both couples are struggling with. In Curtis' situation, he couldn't fully trust Mark because of his own trust issues he had faced when he was younger, and previous negative experiences in other relationship. This happened when he dated the 20-year-old when he was 17, and he was cheated on severely. So they kind of gave him insecurities. The next one is sexual identity, and I picked up sexual orientation. For sexual orientation, both Curtis and Mark identify themselves as openly being gay, and they are very happy with it. They don't have any problem per se. Curtis is a 39-year-old male, and Mark is a 29-year-old male. Both of them are white males. The age difference between them is 10 years. They're happily fine with it, and they don't have a problem with it. The next one is sexual health and reproduction, and I picked sexual behavior. Um, I chose sexual behavior because both couples are really into the party scene and enjoying it very well, and they seem to like it. They also like to engage in threesome intercourse, or what we call it orgies. They pick people up from the party scene. They go when they go out during the night, and also through online solicitation and phone sex line. So this is what they like. They like to engage in sexual behavior. They're happy with it, and they seems to like it. And then last but not least, I'll say sexualization, flirting. When both couples are out in the party scene, Curtis hates when Mark flirts with other men. Kurt doesn't like the idea of flirt, and Mark threatens him about leaving. Mark's friends also urges him to flirt with other men, which I'm sorry, Curtis hate dearly, because of his past experiences that he had with with cheating. All right, what roles does the circle of sexualization, in particular, play in Mark and Curtis' relationship? In sexualization, power holds an important role. Sexuality can be used to control, influence, and manipulate people around us. Sexualization play an important role in Curtis and Mark's relationship. Also because Curtis addresses relentless jealousy of Mark when both go to the nightclub together. Curtis, displeasure, flirtatious behavior with other men at the club. Um, and I'll go into that. Well, Curtis reports, experiences severe jealousy of Mark when they are in the night club together. Curtis believes, Mark's friends are always checking other men behind his back. Curtis also expressed that he overhears Mark's friends discuss flirtatious behavior and also try to assist Mark to cheat on him, which he dearly hates. He doesn't like that and he have an issue with that. Um, Also, Curtis' disclosure of engagement through with sex and infatuated by other guys. You know, while he was engaging through with intercourse online, through online and in person and phone sex lines, he was attracted by his, his body image by other men, and you know, it can happen. It is happening, in their relationship. And last but not least, due to being really cheated on multiple times by his previous partner, he had developed a sense of infidelity, causing his insecurities to go up higher. And because of his insecurities, he's got it up due to being cheated on. Okay, and what role does substance use play in blue light special sexual health and reproduction? Substance use plays important role in sexual health and reproduction, which stops a person's ability to make choices. Okay. With that said, committing in dangerous or risky behavior is part of Curtis's and Mark's relationship. Curtis, defines Mark as being into the party scene and both, enjoys using recreational drugs such as crystal meth, cocaine, ketamine, hydrochloride, excessive drinking of alcohol. Also, Curtis discussed substance use also play a role in their sexual activities when they are engaging in a three, some sex. And when they engage in these substances, they are both, intoxicated with, drugs and alcohol, and their behavior, if not taken care of, leads to, unprotected intercourse, which they have a chance of contracting STIs, HIV, AIDS, when that happens. So there's some of the things that I'm bringing light upon. Um, if you were to assess a concept under each circle, which ones would you choose and why? Oh, good one. I picked sensuality and fantasy. Both Curtis and Mark are, you know, are engaging in threesome sex with other people. And doing these activities, they're in doing these activities that they engage in. They consume drugs and alcohol, which gives makes them feel good through euphoria, and they seems to enjoy it. Intimacy, I pick vulnerability and trust. Trust, play a huge role in Curtis's relationship with Mark. Due to Mark's flirtatious behavior. Vulnerability. I'm sorry. Curtis disclosed, his jealousy and insecurities. Is creating intense difficulty with Mark. These problems tend to end up in sometimes screaming at each other, and which is not good. And Mark, in regards, also threatens to end the relationship. Curtis, on the other hand, avoids displaying vulnerability to Mark, who threatens to leave him. Also, because of that, Mark is, trying to Mark is one, to not, show his emotions. I'm sorry, Curtis is trying not to show his emotions towards Mark. For sexual identity, gender, I pick gender role and gender identity. Curtis identify as a white gay male, uh, um, and when I'm sorry, Kurt identified himself as a white gay male, you know, growing up in a very close, system family, with no little to with little to no affection. Being the eldest of the three sibling in the home, Kurt stated that he had to be the man of the home to care for his siblings. And because of that, because of his father's, alcoholic issues and his mom relying on him, um, he's been expected and relied on, to take care of the home and of the home that he lives in, and growing up to be a man of the home. Um, I would say sexual health and reproduction behavior. I would say sexual being given both couples sexual behavior. It would be beneficial to explore both partners insight and knowledge into the consequences of sexual activities, as well as other feelings and attitudes towards each other. Sensuality, I pick flirting and seduction. Um, well, while I was reviewing the case application, it gave me an evidence to the concept of rape, which has potential with both couples relationship. Curtis expressed him and Mark enjoy engaging in intercourse with each other under the influence of drugs and alcohol, with the danger of acquiring STS due to unsafe sex under the influence. The couples, then the couples themselves are at risk of being raped, by others. Next one. What role does the value circle play in Curtis' life? Uh, you know, Curtis and Mark are still in a relationship despite a series of argument, distrust, and jealousy. I'm sorry about the distrust that I put, but they are still together after all their argument and flirtatious and other things that's going on. Family, I'll say Curtis comes from a very close family because of issues with dad and mom. He's been relied on to take care of the house. So he's very close to his family. Friend support. He has a small circles of friends, but when he's in a pinch, he can call upon them. He hasn't talked to most of his friends after engaging in a relationship with Mark. So if anything arises, he could call them so he can hang out with them and talk to them more. Career. He has a degree in MBA. From a prestigious, university. He's financially secure and savvy business dealer, that he enjoys. So he's very comfortable um, in everything. All right. Last but not least, using the circles model, design one intervention that might be effective with this couple. I'll say therapy definitely. Um, and with therapy, each of them have to go through individual therapy to be able to address their problems. After addressing the problems, they can go to couples, to heal any wounds that has been hurt um, with each other. And also, I would say Curtis should, uh, have a family therapy to discuss his coming out and with his family and his insecurities on drugs and alcohol. I would say that both parties should be educated on like what the consequences of drugs could be, addiction and other things, such as being hooked on other drugs, and as well as being careful and engaging in sexual intercourse with other activities. Instead of engaging in two-way sex, I would say that they should both and find something like walking, swimming, and other things that they can do to help themselves. This discloses all my summary. Thank you very much. Bye.